Robert, the ArmedVaper here. Today it's kind of an ad hoc mixing, DIYing juice day. Okay, I've had some requests. People wanted me to go over that kind of stuff. Okay, all right, not an issue. I'll do some. Okay, did some on my live show, but what the heck? I'll do a YouTube video. First, let's get one thing out of the way, such as if you're ordering a juice and you order it at 50-50 PG-VG, that's a ratio. It's not a percentage, okay? Just so you know, you can never order like 100% VG or 100% PG unless that's what you want to vape. 100% PG with nothing in it or 100% VG with nothing in it. It's the only way you can vape 100% of anything, all right? Or if a true 50-50, okay, percentage-wise, then it would have no nicotine and no flavoring, okay? So you kind of get that? So keep that in mind that if you think you're vaping 100% VG flavored nicotine injected juice, that doesn't exist. If you're vaping a 12 milligram juice, it has 1.2% of nicotine in it. So automatically, whatever the rest of the carrier is can't equal 100%. Same thing with flavoring. If it's got 10%, 15% flavoring, whatever's left can't be 100% of anything, okay? So just be aware that you're never vaping 100% VG. You're never truly vaping a 50-50 percentage-wise. It's a ratio, okay? How much VG, how much PG, 50%, 50-50 ratio, not percentage. So let's keep that kind of in mind. So what does ArmedVaper do? ArmedVaper, you know, basically vapes a cinnamon red hot as his all-day vape, right? At least 90% of the time, that's what I'm vaping. And I used to buy, let's just pick this bottle. I used to buy, and I still buy this kind of stuff, like cinnamon red hot in a 236 milliliter bottle, okay, from Baker Vapor. And I would buy it, I used to buy it in like let's say, well, I buy it in 100% PG. Okay, and I'm putting that in quotations, okay? So the carrier is all PG, all right, at 24 milligram strength, okay, for the nicotine. So that's what this is right here. If you read on it, if I read it to you, it says cinnamon red hot, 24 milligram nicotine, PG, 100%. Well, that's the carrier. It can't be 100%. Get it? All right? Because 2.4% of what's in this bottle is nicotine. And the rest, whatever percentage of flavoring that's in here, okay? So it can't contain 100% VG, or in this case, PG, all right? So just understand that. So I would buy 24 milligram nicotine, cinnamon red hot, PG base. And I would take this, all right? And I would do, so this is the actual PG based 24 milligram cinnamon red hot. And I would take this and, you know, I'd save my little bottles, clean them out. And I would take this. You don't have to do anything rocket science here. And I would fill this bottle halfway. About there, okay? Halfway. Let's close that off. And I would fill the rest of it with 100% VG, okay? Which I also get from Baker Vapor. All right, there we go. VG. And then I shake this little bottle up. This is a 12 milliliter bottle. Okay? So now I have a 12 milliliter bottle that is made up of 50% of this, which is my 24 milligram cinnamon red hot PG base. And the other 50% would be pure VG. And I would end up with this bottle that would be 12 milligram nicotine content. Okay, and this I would vape. This is perfectly vapable. Or I can also use this as a base for other stuff, such as, if you tuned into my live show last Tuesday, was it last Tuesday I did that, or the Tuesday before? I forget. Here's a larger bottle of the same thing, okay? A line here, these two parts equal. I would fill half of this bottle up with my 24 milligram cinnamon red hot PG base and fill it up to this line and then fill it up to there with straight VG. All right, so this is the same formula as this little bottle. All right, and I would vape this perfectly fine. No problem vaping it at all. Now, what I can do with this, all right, let's take this. Let's say I can use this as a base, okay, what I've just created. I can take something else like cotton candy, sweet Texas sweet tea, raspberry, okay, maple pecan, okay, and take these, and let's say I want to do a little, I washed these bottles out, they're a little wet. Again, another 12 milliliter bottle. Let's say I want to do, and I don't have to go crazy. I mean, I can eyeball this pretty much, but, you know, I have syringes and stuff that I can measure this stuff out on, okay? Not really a big deal. Let's say I want to create a bottle that I want to try some mixing, all right? So I'll take my base that I've created. Remember, this is my base that I created. So it's 12 milligram strength. Let's say I'll put in, let's say 2/3. And you don't have to go crazy, and I'll tell you why. Okay, I'm going to cap this off. Boop, boop. All right. So there's 2/3 of my base I created, which I vape straight anyways half the time. All right. And I can take my maple pecan, which is 12 milligram strength. Okay, so this is ordered directly off of ArmedVaper, 12 milligrams nicotine, maple pecan. This is 100% PG. So I bought this in mind. Okay, I bought this in mind that I'm going to mix with it. Take that, fill up the rest of it with that. More or less, leave a little room for shaking. Ooh, goodness gracious. What do I got for a little? There we go. And now I have a little bottle of a mix I created with my base, cinnamon red hot, maple pecan. All right? It's 12 milligram. My base is 12 milligram. So what's the end result as far as nicotine content? Still 12 milligram. All right? I haven't changed anything. Perfect. You know, so there's something I can do. I can do the same thing with any kind of flavors. You can buy these things knowing that, okay, even if you don't buy them to, let's say, with the thought process of, oh, I'm going to mix them, okay, still, let's say you had a 50-50 of something hanging around or whatever, not an issue. Now, what if I want to do the true DIY? What I've just done is really mixing, right? Then what you got to do is purchase some sort of nicotine-based solution from many different vendors out here. This I got at Pfizer's Electronic Cigarettes. There's many places that carry nicotine solutions in very different strengths, okay? You can buy PG anywhere, all right? So those are two main things you need. You need a nicotine base. This one happens to be 36 milligram nicotine. You can buy it in, let's say you vape 12. You could buy this in 12, okay, in a ratio that you want. So it's unflavored, let's say. Add your flavoring to it, you're good to go. Or you can buy higher strengths and have separate PG, have separate VG. Use a calculator, okay, a juice calculator. Make sure you get all your ratios correct, and you're off to go. So what else do you need? You need flavorings. Flavorings, okay. These I also got at Vice's Electronic Cigarettes. These are rebranded Flavor Apprentice, okay. Very good stuff. So these come in, I think these are 8 mil. What are these? Yeah, these are little 8 mil bottles. Oh man, that's not a lot, but a little goes a long way. So you need your flavorings. Maybe you want to pick up some sweetener. If you got a sweet tooth, you want to add more to it. That's basically what you're going to do. So let's make up a little bottle of DIY. All right? DIY. Now, when it comes to this kind of stuff here, this nicotine juice, you got to be careful with it so you don't spill it. If you're getting high concentrations of nicotine, if you're going out and you, God forbid, you get 100 milligram strength base, all right? Might want to wear rubber gloves. You got to be really cautious with this stuff, all right? You don't want to spill it. Fiji, you spill it all over the place, it's not going to hurt anything. Just get everything sticky and nasty. So here is a 12 milliliter bottle. And I want to create a juice in here that has, I'm going to go a little bit higher. I'm going to use 15% flavoring. I'm going to create it for a 9 milligram strength of nicotine. And the rest of the content is going to be VG. Now, I happen to order this base in VG. All right, so this is a VG-based nicotine solution. All right. So except for the nicotine content and the flavoring, everything else in this bottle is going to be VG. Now, you can get your nicotine in a PG base. You can sometimes order it in a ratio, such as a 50-50. You can buy separate. I haven't yet bought separate PG content unflavored. I'm going to get some of that in the future, though, because flavorings tend to mix better if there's some PG content in it. And basically, when I'm done with this little bottle, there's no PG in it at all. All right. So my flavoring will have a tendency to separate out. So I have to make sure I shake it really, really well before I vape it. If I put it in a very large tank and I'm not vaping it like consistently, it's, like if I left it alone overnight, it probably is going to separate out and I have to, make sure I shake it. So what I need to do is get out my calculator. Okay. Get out my calculator and plug in my little figures. Now, I happen to use on my iPhone here a product called iVape. There's many different calculators you can use. Just search the web for whatever platform you're on and you'll find something. So it's asking me what's the nicotine-based solution that I'm using for the most part. So I'm using 36 milligram VG-based nicotine solution. All right. It wants to know what my target level nicotine level is, and I want it to be 9 milligram. Okay. I typed that in wrong. 9. It wants to know what do I want as a total as far as VG-PG ratio. For now, I'm just going to put in, 100%. Okay. What size bottle? 12 milligram. Pardon me, 12 milliliter. And what percent of flavoring? I'm going to put in 15%. I keep hitting the wrong numbers. So let's see. It wants me to put in 3 milliliters of my base nicotine solution. It wants me to use 1.8 milliliters of flavoring. And the rest of it's going to be VG. Pretty simple. Pretty simple. So let's go do this. I'm going to open this up, my nicotine. I'm going to start with my nicotine. And let's go to the, well, that's good. I'll use the up close camera here. Now I have my syringes here. Nice clean syringes. I'm not using rubber gloves, so I want to make sure I'm careful with it. And it said I wanted 3 milliliters of this nicotine solution. So I'm filling up my syringe. Now, because this is all VG base, these syringes take a while to fill. So it's really, I pulled out the syringe plunger all the way, and it's creating a vacuum and sucking in all that wonderful juice. Okay. So there it's filled up to the 3 milliliter line. I'm going to take it, put it in my little bottle, and squirt it all in there. Okay. Now I'm going to put that aside. And without going any further, I'm going to cap my nicotine and move it out of the way so I don't have an accident. Okay? So, you can see there's the nicotine solution in there, right? So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create an RY4. All right, so I'm going to take the rest of my little stuff here, put this aside, take out my RY4. Okay, so here's RY4 flavoring. All right, give it a little shake. What the heck, right? It's pretty well mixed up. And it wants me, and you got to be, again, these are tiny little balls, really easy to get away from you. All right, I'm going to take my another syringe. All right, don't want to cross contaminate. Another blunt needle. All right. And it wanted me to put in how much? Let me double check. Always double check. 1.8 milliliters. Okay, so there's 1.5. Okay, so I need to go right there. Okay, so I'm going to suck that in here. Now this is fairly thin stuff. It's not like sucking up the VG. Let me see how that is. Just a tad more. A little too much. Squirt a little bit out. That's good. And now I'm going to put that in the bottle as well. There we go. Put that over here. Take this before doing anything else. Cap it off. Get it out of reach. All right, so you can now see, and maybe, sorry, the bottle's a little dirty, but you can see that there's a layer on top of this other layer. You might, I think you can pick that up. Yeah, you should be able to. So we have the nicotine base on the bottom, the RY4 flavoring on top. I'm going to cap this off. Yeah, here we go. I really want to put a little doodle daddle in there. There we go. That doesn't fit. This should fit. Yep. All right. And I want to mix those two. All right. So now I've got them good and mixed up. I'm going to take my cap off, take the little spout off. And now I'm going to top off the rest of this with VG. I don't have to measure it because that's what's left to do. Oop, okay, that was good. All right. I'm going to cap that. Get the rest of my VG in there. There we go. Always leave a little room for air. So you can mix it. You can't mix anything unless you have air in it. Okay. Let me get a... Good. Give it a good shake. And what you're looking for when you shake this up is you're looking for a distribution of bubbles inside that juice. You see the bubbles inside there? Little tiny bubbles. Little tiny bubbles. That's what you're looking for. All right? So, what do I have here now? I have a 9 milligram nicotine level. 15% RY4 flavoring. And aside from those two items, the rest of it is all VG. So this is what people would call, this is 100% VG juice. All right? When it doesn't exist. Can't exist. Simple math, simple logic tells you that. Okay? If there's anything other in this bottle than VG, then it can't be 100% VG. Okay? Right? Correct me if I'm wrong. Tell me. Tell me the possibilities of how I can have 100% of something without anything else, with other stuff in it. Impossible, right? Okay, so doing simple juices is really a piece of cake. And, you know, if you're thinking about getting into it, why not? Because it's really simple to do. It's certainly mixing simple. It takes very simple skills as far as math, okay, so you don't get screwed up. But when it comes to actually doing DIY with nicotine solutions, okay, all right, you probably want to use a DIY calculator, all right? You definitely want to use a juice calculator. So you get all these ratios correct in the juice, and it can save you a lot of money doing it this way. You know, if you have a habit like me of vaping at least probably 15 mils a day. So if I'm using like a premium e-liquid, what's that going to cost me a day? Premium e-liquids are $20 and up, I'll consider. All right, so it's going to cost me $10 a day to vape a premium e-juice. Maybe $7 or $8 for it's going to cost, it's expensive to vape that much. So that's why I went to basically started out doing I bought big balls of this, big balls of VG, 50-50 ratio, boom, cut my cost in half right there, all right? And it works great. The flavor's fine for me the way I want it. Bought twice the nicotine content here, so when I did cut it, it was down to where I wanted it, which was 12. Simple math. And Mount Baker Vapor bottles 236 milliliter is like just under $40. Which is pretty cheap to begin with anyways. DIYing, you buy the nicotine, you buy VG again, you buy PG. Flavorings, I'm off the top of my head. 8 mil flavoring here bottle is like a couple of bucks, $2.50, maybe $3. But still, you're not going to dump, you're not taking like a whole bottle of this and dumping it in to a 30 mil bottle. You only need to start at like 5%, of which is 1.5 milliliters for a 30 milliliter bottle, let's say. Or 3, no, pardon me, that wouldn't be a right rate. Yeah, that would be, 5% is 1.5 for a 30 mil. 10% would be 3 mils, okay. 15% flavoring is 4.5 mils for a 30 mil bottle. Right? So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. All right, so there's a little insight as to how you can do this fairly simple without going crazy and worrying about all this other stuff. This is the ArmedVaper way. Bye.